Every week, millions of viewers are glued to their screens to watch David Bromstad hand over life-changing keys to jackpot lottery winners.
Cheers to you and your new life.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Behind the glamorous studio lights, though, lies a harsh truth buried for many years. Insiders once tried to sound the alarm about a long downward spiral from a sensational lawsuit in court to a life-or-death battle to reclaim his sobriety. We were captivated by that trademark smile for a decade while ignoring the signs of fractures. What dark secrets is the man who specializes in turning other people's dreams into reality, hiding behind his ink-covered skin?
I had a really bad breakup, a very long relationship, bad breakup, super toxic.
On August 17, 1973, in the remote agricultural town of Cokato, Minnesota, David Reed Bromstad was born. As the youngest child in a Scandinavian heritage family of 4 siblings, young David grew up with a shy nature and a distinct difference from his peers. His school years in rural Cokato quickly turned into dark days due to school bullying. He was constantly isolated, ridiculed, and subjected to fierce hostility from classmates because of his gentle demeanor and artistic talent revealed all too early. To escape the suffocating reality, David buried himself for hours on end in drawing paper. The greatest inspiration that illuminated his childhood came from the world of Walt Disney animation, which nurtured a burning ambition to become a professional animator. Recognizing their son's special gift, David's parents pooled their savings so that he could attend the prestigious Ringling College of Art and Design in Florida. Graduating with honors, he stepped out into the world with the firm belief that the doors of the Disney Corporation were wide open to welcome him. Harsh reality immediately struck its first blow against the young graduate. There was no animator position available for David at Walt Disney World. Instead, he was only hired as a visual merchandiser for a brief period of 6 months. The actual work was the complete opposite of his artistic dream, as he was merely arranging mannequins and cleaning display cases. Determined to hold on, David requested a transfer to the sculpture workshop, which specialized in fabricating props for the corporation's theme parks. Here, instead of whimsical sketches, David had to perform heavy manual labor in a toxic environment. He painstakingly sawed and sanded massive foam sculptures for hours under Florida's scorching heat. Toward the end of the 1990s, an unexpected wave of layoffs hit, leaving David laid off and unemployed. Determined not to give up, he scraped together his remaining meager funds to establish his own company named Bromstad Studio in Miami. A lack of financial management experience coupled with market volatility quickly turned Bromstad Studio into a massive burden. The fledgling business collapsed after a short time, plunging its founder into mounting debt and utter financial exhaustion. A close friend who witnessed this period recounted that David was completely lost at the time, his bank account empty, and he was not even able to afford rent, having to get by on cheap meals. To survive the dire crisis, David took on any odd job available, from building children's furniture to fabricating decorative props for model apartments. He slaved away 16 hours a day in a dilapidated workshop filled with wood dust and chemicals. Ironically, the person who would later become a leading reality TV star in America held no formal degree or certification in interior design. All of his practical knowledge came entirely from pure survival instinct. Looking back on this rock-bottom dark period, David once bitterly confessed, "I was on the brink of total bankruptcy without a penny to my name, and my artistic dream seemed to have been crushed by the harsh reality of earning a living." By 2005, at the age of 32, David Bromstad was still just an obscure figure struggling on the fringes of society, with a heavy burden of debt on his shoulders. But from this very lowest point, fate was preparing an unimaginable turning point for him. Wave of outrage. In the spring of 2006, the HGTV cable network aggressively organized a nationwide casting call for the reality show Design Star. In the midst of David's desperate poverty, a close friend decided to pay out of pocket to help him complete his audition portfolio. With the mindset of someone at rock bottom with nothing left to lose, David entered the studio with a rare sense of daring. His explosive energy and unconventional approach to color coordination immediately stunned the judges and producers. Overcoming a series of formidable, formally trained rivals from across the United States, David brilliantly claimed the crown in the inaugural season. This resounding victory officially etched his name into history as HGTV's first-ever champion. The prize for the winner was not merely a new car, but even more valuable was a contract to produce his own signature television show. From that moment on, the poor young man's life turned a completely new page. In early 2007, the show Color Splash officially hit the airwaves and sparked a sensation across America. Set against the vibrant backdrop of Miami Beach, David's style of transforming spaces with bursting, vibrant colors drew millions of television viewers every week. With success following success, the network continued to expand the brand with the Color Splash San Francisco edition. Over more than 100 broadcast episodes, David Bromstad swiftly rose to the status of a top A-list star, becoming a guaranteed ratings draw. Going beyond his professional expertise, David also established a special standing as one of the rare television hosts open about his sexuality, who was beloved by the public. His openness and sincerity helped him dissolve rigid prejudices across many conservative states throughout America. Looking back on that glorious golden age, surrounded by millions of fans, David once emotionally shared with the press, "I feel like I just won the ultimate lottery ticket of life, after years of being buried deep in darkness." From an obscure custom furniture builder, David consistently maintained high visibility as a guest judge on Design Star and as the host of Bang for Your Buck. He became an exemplary icon of success, commanding a loyal fan base and an apparently unshakable career. Still, the perfect picture began to crack in October 2013, when David unexpectedly accepted the role of host for the Salvation Army's Red Shield Redesign Bash charity fundraiser in Fort Lauderdale. This decision immediately ignited a fierce wave of outrage on social media from his very own loyal fan base. The reason stemmed from the charity having faced numerous discrimination allegations in the past. Thousands of critical comments took aim directly at David, accusing him of betraying the audience's trust and compromising his reputation for personal gain. A segment of the public even called on HGTV to remove him from the broadcast schedule as a deterrent. Facing the storm of public backlash, David publicly spoke out to defend his stance. "I know about past prejudices, but if we do not reach out a hand and build bridges of dialogue, the division will never end." The storm from public opinion was merely a passing breeze, compared to the true tragedy quietly brewing behind the closed doors of David's private residence, where 11 years of trust collapsed into a reputation-destroying lawsuit. The dark lawsuit behind the scenes. In February 2004, at a Valentine's Day party in Miami, David Bromstad first met Jeffrey Glasgow. At the time, Glasgow was a former police officer with a stern demeanor, while David was still just an obscure artist struggling to make ends meet. The relationship quickly blossomed and lasted for over a decade. When David's career skyrocketed thanks to his HGTV championship crown, Glasgow decided to leave law enforcement to serve as manager, holding the financial keys to all business ventures under the David Bromstad name. Throughout 11 years together, the couple was once hailed as one of the most enduring romantic symbols in the entertainment world. Glasgow not only managed the income and expense books, but also served as a solid pillar behind every lucrative television contract of the host. Behind the facade of perfect happiness, simmering conflicts grew increasingly fierce. The pressure of fame's spotlight, along with a grueling filming schedule, gradually created an unbridgeable chasm, plunging the relationship of more than a decade into crisis. In early 2015, the two officially went their separate ways, to the astonishment of the media. Insiders revealed that the breakup took place amidst extreme tension, marking the complete collapse of a joint business empire built over many years. The real seismic shock erupted when Jeffrey Glasgow officially filed a lawsuit against David in Miami-Dade County Court. The lawsuit accused the television star of severely violating their joint asset division agreement, intentionally pushing his former partner into financial distress after the breakup. A flurry of tabloid outlets immediately seized on details from the court documents, with revelations that shocked the public. Glasgow's side claimed that David had secretly drained their joint bank accounts starting around 2010 to fuel a reckless lifestyle and costly destructive indulgences. These direct accusations immediately dealt a fatal blow to the warm family man image David had painstakingly built. Viewers across the United States were stunned by the dark picture behind the familiar friendly smile of the top-rated television host. In the face of a fierce wave of criticism, David's legal representative issued a staunch statement of rebuttal. These are entirely fabricated, baseless allegations stemming from a desperate individual seeking illicit gain after the romantic relationship ended. Throughout the tense litigation sessions in 2016, both sides repeatedly presented conflicting evidence to protect their reputations. The plaintiff persistently requested freezing bank accounts, as well as the ownership rights to the luxury condominium the two had shared in Florida. Following a comprehensive review of the records and testimony, the Miami-Dade County Court judge handed down the final ruling. The court dismissed all of Jeffrey Glasgow's claims for damages due to a total lack of legally valid evidence to substantiate harm. The judge emphasized that there were no grounds to establish a breach of a binding contract between the two and concurrently signed an order dismissing the lawsuit. The court finds no solid legal basis to sustain the claims of financial misconduct in this matter. Although he secured an absolute victory in the eyes of the law, David Bromstad still suffered severe reputational damage after the scandal. Instead of going to the press to explain himself or attack his ex, the host made a vital decision, maintaining absolute silence before all media lenses. This wise strategy of silence helped HGTV producers retain his spot in the new project titled My Lottery Dream Home. Even as the legal storm temporarily subsided, the deep wound from the betrayal of a partner of 11 years left behind an enormous psychological shadow. The lawsuit drew to a close late that year, leaving behind a David Bromstad utterly drained emotionally and mentally. The million-dollar man had to pick up the shattered pieces on his own, confronting extreme loneliness after a decade of placing all his faith in the wrong place. Escaping the litigation vortex did not mean the psychological wounds had healed. To survive, David began a strange transformation, covering his body in ink and confronting the ghosts of his past. Transformation through pain. Entering 2018, television viewers were astonished by David Bromstad's completely new appearance. The image of the clean-cut host, with sleek, gelled hair from the 2000s, completely vanished, giving way to an edgy and rugged style. From his neck-chest, both arms to the backs of his hands, David was gradually covered in dense tattoo ink. This dizzying change immediately sparked lively discussions across entertainment forums and social media. The thick layer of ink, though, was not merely a rebellious fashion statement, but a living diary preserving the ups and downs of his life. The images of Cinderella Castle and Mickey Mouse on his bicep were a poignant tribute to his early dreams at Disney. The large pride lettering inked along his body, accompanied by a unicorn symbol and vibrant shades of color, symbolized freedom and the healing journey. Each needle prick served as an effort to bury the deep psychological scars following the lawsuit crisis years before. This bold metamorphosis could not avoid a fierce wave of backlash from a segment of HGTV's traditional audience. Many sent complaint letters to network executives criticizing the tattooed appearance as unsuitable for the standards of a primetime broadcast. In spite of the judgmental gazes and scathing remarks, David remained steadfast in defending his right to express his true self. A studio producer revealed that it was precisely his confident demeanor and warm energy that persuaded executives to retain the new image. Even with a smile constantly beaming in front of the camera, David's inner battle quietly raged on for many years. The true awakening turning point only arrived in August 2023, when he decided to embark on a pilgrimage to his ancestral homeland in Norway. Standing atop the majestic Reinebringen mountain amidst the Lofoten archipelago, after a grueling climb, David had a moment of facing his own darkness head-on. The stillness of Nordic nature unlocked a spiritual liberation that had long been suppressed. Right after the trip, David shocked millions of followers by posting an unprecedented heartfelt confession. He candidly admitted that he had endured long years of struggling in the depths of despair, tears, and destructive choices that ravaged his body. For the first time in his career, the television star went public about having successfully overcome addiction and maintaining a sober lifestyle all this time. David wrote in choked emotion, "I am so proud to be standing tall in my sobriety, shedding the weight of guilt to embrace the light." The courage to acknowledge his vulnerabilities earned deep empathy from both the public and industry professionals. David affirmed that he no longer harbored resentment toward the past or those who had betrayed him. "I have learned to forgive myself and live true to the purpose this life has given me." The journey of overcoming psychological crises transformed David into a stronger, profoundly empathetic presence on television. Deep wounds from the past were no longer a weakness, instead becoming a source of positive energy that helped him understand and connect deeply with every individual. After walking through the depths of betrayal and addiction, that man not only did not collapse, but also turned that lived experience into the formula for creating one of the most successful television empires in America. The response to the warnings. In 2015, HGTV network executives officially entrusted David Bromstad with hosting a brand new show titled My Lottery Dream Home. The unique format of accompanying jackpot winners in their search for an ideal home quickly sparked a sensation on the small screen. Spanning more than 14 resilient broadcast seasons, with hundreds of episodes, the show has risen to become a familiar staple for millions of American families. His charm, warm storytelling style, and genial, non-judgmental demeanor are the very keys to retaining viewers. Speaking about the mission of accompanying ordinary people whose lives changed overnight, David once emotionally shared with the media, "I am not merely helping them find a house, but opening the happiest chapter alongside them on the journey to making dreams come true." The resounding success of the show catapulted David into the group of the network's highest-paid talents. With an estimated compensation of around $70,000 per broadcast episode, the host's accumulated net worth swiftly reached the $2 million to $5 million mark. After years of persistently living in rented homes in Miami, to build his financial reserves, the summer of 2021 marked a major turning point when HGTV produced the special episode, David's Dream Home. This program documented the host's entire journey of personally searching for and renovating a home of his very own. He decided to spend nearly $1 million to purchase a classic Tudor-style estate in the suburbs of Orlando, Florida. Drawing on his extensive artistic experience, David personally overhauled the entire living space into a vibrant and luxurious palace of color. Entering his 50s, The television star chose a peaceful single life alongside family and close friends. He spends most of his free time painting, enjoying nature, and quietly providing financial support to organizations aiding underprivileged youth. Reflecting on the turbulent journey left behind, David shared in a recent interview, "I have tasted enough stumbles and dark periods, but now I am completely content with the peace and practical values I hold." Past warnings about an unstable David Bromstad or the risk of reputational collapse have all been erased by reality. Resilient fortitude helped him overcome crises to stand firm at the pinnacle of his television career for 2 decades. What are your thoughts on David Bromstad's gritty journey of transformation and the hidden corners behind his radiant smile on HGTV? Is his authenticity, along with the scars of the past, what makes him special? Leave your thoughts right in the comments section below. If you found this video engaging and insightful, please hit like, share, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss the next sensational behind-the-scenes entertainment stories. Thank you to our audience for watching. Goodbye, and see you next time.